Just a few years ago, Germany was considered the driving force of Europe, a symbol of modernity, export dominance, and technical excellence. The Made in Germany brand was associated with quality, reliability, and technological sophistication. Today, however, this image is starting to crumble. The economy of the largest country in the European Union is weakening, and growing structural problems raise the question, have Germany become the new sick man of Europe? At the heart of this crisis lies the automotive industry. Once a source of national pride, now increasingly overwhelmed by competition from Asia. For decades, companies like Volkswagen, BMW, or Mercedes-Benz set global standards. However, the rise of electromobility caught German companies unprepared. While Chinese BYD and South Korean Hyundai are rapidly capturing global electric vehicle markets, German giants are grappling with delays, costly transformations, and loss of market share. In 2024, China exported more cars than Germany for the first time, and this gap is likely to widen. Germany relied too long on internal combustion engine technology and did not invest sufficiently in new solutions. The result? A decline in competitiveness and growing dependence on imported components. Unlike China, where the government consistently supported the development of domestic technology and automotive companies, Berlin clung to the status quo for too long. Germany's problems do not end with the automotive industry. Another weak point is low digital innovation. In an era where global dominance is built around data, online platforms, and artificial intelligence, Germany has not created any globally recognized technology platform. There is no equivalent to Facebook, Apple, or TikTok here. Moreover, many federal offices still use fax machines, and the level of digitization of public services is among the lowest in the entire European Union. This situation is confirmed by data from the European Patent Office. Indeed, Germany still ranks among the top in terms of the number of patent applications, but their structure is changing alarmingly. More and more of them concern traditional technologies, rather than innovative solutions based on machine learning algorithms or industrial process automation. At the same time, the country is grappling with an energy crisis, triggered by the decision to phase out nuclear energy and cut off Russian gas supplies, following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. As a result, energy prices for industry are now among the highest on the continent. This, in turn, leads to the relocation of industrial plants abroad, to Central and Eastern Europe, or Southeast Asia, among others. Demographics also leave no illusions. Germany's society is aging rapidly, and the fertility rate remains at 1.5 children per woman. Despite the influx of migrants, mainly from the Middle East and Ukraine, there is a lack of effective integration policies. As a result, the economy suffers not only from a labor shortage, but also from deepening social tensions. All this paints a picture of a country at a dangerous turning point. Germany faces a dilemma today. Take the risk of deep reforms and bold investments in the future, or sink into stagnation and gradual loss of influence. Although Germany boasted fiscal discipline and a black zero policy, meaning no budget deficit for years, maintaining this principle has become increasingly difficult in recent years. After the COVID-19 pandemic and Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the federal government was forced to launch numerous aid programs. In 2024, Germany's public debt reached €1.7 trillion, equivalent to 72% of GDP. Compared to Italy or Greece, this is still a safe level. But for a country that considered itself the guardian of European finances for decades, this is a change of symbolic significance. The costs of servicing the debt are rising, placing an increasing burden on the budget. In 2024, Germany spent over €42 billion on debt interest alone, more than 3 times the amount in 2020. With rising bond yields and a strained fiscal situation, public investment policy is becoming increasingly difficult. Many experts point to growing political and social pressure related to the costs of the energy transition. Germany has committed to decarbonizing the economy and significantly reducing CO2 emissions by 2030. However, transitioning from coal and gas to renewable energy sources is proving more costly and complex than anticipated. Energy prices in Germany are currently among the highest in Europe, and many industrial companies are considering relocating to countries with cheaper energy, such as the Czech Republic. The climate transformation is also a hotly debated topic in the context of elections. More and more citizens are feeling fatigued by constant restrictions and costs. Political parties like Alternative for Germany, AfD, are gaining support precisely due to dissatisfaction with the direction of the energy and migration transitions. At the same time, skepticism toward EU climate policy and support for Ukraine is growing. Demographics are becoming an increasingly serious problem. According to data from 2023, over 22% of German citizens are over 65 years old, and the employment rate in the 20 to 34 age group is steadily declining. The pension system is becoming increasingly burdened, and the generational gap in the labor market is deepening. Although Germany accepts a significant number of immigrants, effective integration mechanisms are still lacking. As a result, some newcomers do not contribute to the labor market, but require social support. Productivity indicators are also concerning. Since 2015, the average annual productivity growth in Germany has been only 0.7%, while in the United States and South Korea, these values are at least twice as high. Entrepreneurs increasingly complain about the lack of investment in digital infrastructure, delays in modernizing rail and energy networks, and lengthy and complicated administrative procedures. It is also worth noting the situation in the German education system. Although universities like the University of Heidelberg or the Technical University of Munich still rank among the world's best, more and more young Germans are choosing vocational paths, limiting the supply of specialists in key fields such as computer science, engineering, or molecular biology. At the same time, primary and secondary schools, especially in large urban centers, are struggling with staff shortages and overcrowded classrooms. All these factors mean that a growing number of foreign investors are starting to view Germany not as a stable environment for capital investment, but as a country mired in stagnation. A report from the German Chamber of Industry and Commerce from 2024 shows that, for the first time in over 2 decades, more companies plan to reduce investments in Germany than increase them. More and more small and medium-sized enterprises are deciding to relocate production to Southeast Asia or Central and Eastern Europe. From a country that, for decades, was synonymous with technological progress, export strength, and budgetary stability, Germany is gradually transforming into a nation grappling with a multi-dimensional crisis: structural, demographic, energy, and institutional. The answer to whether these challenges can be overcome depends not only on political will, but also on whether Germany is ready to fundamentally redefine its economic and social model in the era of post-globalization.